I can only hope that it's a faster upload of us going live.
Why did it go slow last time?
No, because sometimes it just takes a while.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not even on YouTube yet, so I don't know if we're live. Live.
Oh, we are live. That was fast.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hello. Good evening. Long time and no see. Happy Easter. We hope you all have enjoyed the break. Welcome back to Batyards Finest Productions. I'm the host for the evening, your Green Lantern from Oa Jerry, and we're just gonna go in sequential order.
Hi, I'm Matt from Gotham.
And I'm Josh from Metropolis.
And welcome back. This has been an episode I've been looking forward to since the last episode because it made me conquer my fears. But before that, we're gonna get into the usual BS, Batman, Superman news, pop culture news, and really just anything just really big and popping. And I know we have a lot of stuff to get into, so let's just roll right into it.
Oh yeah.
Josh,
Alright,
you said you had some stuff, so you want to go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, I just wanted to start. So today is the 85th anniversary of Action Comics #1, the release date of Superman. So his first debut, all the way 85 years ago, back in 1937, his first debut. So he's now 85 years old, and there's been a lot of celebrations I've been seeing online of Superman's anniversary. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That Superman's 85.
Congratulations, senior citizen.
It doesn't look like he's more than 25 years old.
Yeah. And I guess considering, since we're on the topic of Superman, James Gunn, I guess, has officially started pre-production on Superman Legacy. He's the film that he's going to be directing. I don't think it's casted yet, or I guess they're probably going through the casting chair right now and figuring out who they're going to hire. But that's exciting news.
I think it's going to be interesting to see, especially since, uh, recently they just put out the Blue Beetle trailer, and I guess that's their first official DCU movie to kick off the James Gunn verse.
I don't.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it? Like, I'm really confused.
I was watching a video. He just posted a video today. I guess he's like the co-CEO of DC Studios or whatever, and he was kind of explaining it. So he was saying that the Flash, which is basically what I expected, the Flash movie is going to be what kickstarts the new universe, and then after that, there's going to be one basic continuity for DC. So like even the animated movies, the video games are all going to kind of be congruent with each other. Besides, like, if there's like an Elseworlds story like the Batman and the Joker, I guess they're gonna like have a different title, like say DC Elseworlds in front of the movie before showcasing it. Which I like that idea. I hope it's open for different stories. Like I said before, if you want to keep Henry Cavill as Superman, you could use him as a Superman Red Son or something. But I don't know. I guess they're in talks with using Henry Cavill in this new universe or something else. But I don't know what. Honestly, I don't know what DC character he could play besides Superman. So
I was afraid something like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But me personally, I was hoping that he wouldn't touch the video games or their animated movies because they fill in different timelines of things that people do want to see. And I just, for me personally, I have enjoyed their animated stuff a lot more than the live action. So this has me kind of concerned with future products and not products but projects. Oh God. It's been a long day. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
But I just really think that this might be too far of a step, giving James Gunn all this control and power. And it might, well, it's not might. I'm expecting it to come back and, blow up in his face.
I don't have that much of a negative idea of it. I mean, I think honestly to have on overhead is a good idea, like kind of like the Russo brothers did with the whole Marvel stuff. You know, they kind of had one linear story and one idea, which I think DC needs that. I think DC needs like a plan, and he's been pretty good and solid with the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, and like he's actually been very reactive, and like he responds to comments from like the fans very frequently. So he is actually listening to the fans and what they want. So I think I don't know. I'm interested in what's going to happen. And honestly, I think DC did need a new direction. What I was expecting it to be in the beginning was DC to basically just kind of soft reboot itself, but like kind of play in the same universe and then just kind of continue on. But they didn't really do that. But you know, I'm not really mad. I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary. And then you know, before this whole reboot, we're gonna showcase our own Batman versus Superman movie coming out in November. So
yes,
you guys have can look forward to that. I know Jerry has filmed a scene for us, which we have not yet seen. We gotta put that together.
Just finally sent it to Crispy to edit, because the editing software I use wouldn't let me download the edit and upload it. And I'm like, this is stupid. I think it was like right when we were getting off PlayStation, I told Crispy, I'm like, I have the video edited and done, but it's not letting me send it to you guys. So I'm just going to send you the raw footage again and you deal with it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's kind of what I figure. I think that would probably be the best way. So for those of you who don't know, our Batman vs. Superman film is basically a parody film about the creation of Batman versus Superman. So we obviously want to release this movie before they restart a whole new universe. So we're going to be right sandwiched in between. I think I forget what the Flash and Aquaman. So we're gonna be right in the middle of that.
And who knows? We might get picked up to join the DC universe for their cinematics.
You know what? I would be. You know, I don't want to like count my chickens before they're hatched, but you know, maybe we'll get a cameo in something.
We can have Crispy play Lobo. We can give him 2 cigars and a big flaming motorcycle.
I don't even need to be Lobo. I could be I would be happy just being a guy who points up in the sky and says, "Look up in the sky at Superman." I would love to be that guy, but you never know. So considering since it's Superman's birthday, I just wanted to show all my Superman art pieces that I had here. I have a couple more, but they're not here with me. So I just wanted to show these off. Here's a Smallville one. It's oh god. So we start with his beginning seasons, and then we're gonna show him with an elephant. There it is. Okay. So he's lifting an elephant for those of you who are listening. I'm just gonna show you all of them because why not? There's that one. There's basically that again, but he's Clark Kent this time. And animated series.
Nice.
Him flying.
Oh god, I haven't seen that one forever.
Yeah, this is an old one. This is probably the oldest one. This one and the Smallville one. And
focus. There you go.
Yeah, that's the Justice League action version. So, if you guys come to this Comic-Con in Fishkill, you'll be able to see all these magnets and more. We'll be showcasing them at our booth. I know it's going to be a while from now. November's a while from now, so we got a lot of prep time. So yeah, so come see us. Come to our booth. Help us expand the Batyard into a bat country.
We're just taking over. That's what he's going for.
Yeah, we'll see. We got some time. So you'll probably, I mean, the next thing I think we were planning on doing, Matt, was there's going to be a mini con at the Alternative Verse, right, Matt? Can you
Yeah, it's supposed to be
explain
on.
that a little bit?
There's supposed to be a mini con, I believe, on what's it called?
May
May
6th.
6th on Free Comic Book Day. So if you're in the local area of Hyde Park, Alta Universe, the comic book store in the Haviland Plaza around here is having a little mini con where you can come in, hang out with some artists, and grab your free comics and that you're giving out for that day, and show them, but get some product from the artists that are going to be hanging out. Or I believe it's some even like some vendors of like people that sell like some here and there collectible figurines. I believe, and like go there too. So
Nice.
it's not that bad. It's a nice little setup. So me and Josh are gonna pop in there and run around like idiots and see you guys
Yeah,
all
we'll talk
there
to
and
some
talk to
people.
you.
We'll make a short little thing. So yeah, come say hi to us. It'll be Matt and I. We'll get Jerry
I'll
for
have
the
a
next.
cardboard cutout so you can take a thumbs
Yeah,
up picture with me.
yeah. I'm hoping to get you, Jerry, at one of these events. We'll see what we can do. Especially, maybe one of the movie showcasings. That would be fun. That'd be good to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've got
I
plans to come up to New York sometime in the near future to try to do a con. So maybe we can kind of plan it around like, oh, this is a con you guys usually go to and do stuff, and we can finally get the whole Bat family together.
Yeah, it'll be
Well,
fun.
Jerry, you have to be there for the premiere.
I do.
You have to be there for the premiere. So you're
I
coming
forgot
up
about that.
twice this
I'm gonna have
year.
to. I might have to sell the kidneys and get that plane ticket.
Got it.
Crispy, tell Mama Crispy that I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna have to borrow the couch for like 2 weeks.
Done. No, we got some spare rooms. Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
we
Crispy, do you want to do just a quick and light review of Super Mario and Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, good God. I pick one of them.
You pick one, I'll pick the other.
Okay, so
Oh man.
so
This is
okay,
what I
so
hate
Super
it.
Mario, I'm gonna go with this one. So Super Mario is definitely a kid. Oh, move. Do.
We lost Josh.
Hello.
Hold on. Sorry, technical difficulties. But anywho, with Mario is definitely a movie. Just like throw, it's a really basically a basic
Hello.
startup. Holy hell! No, Mario is definitely like an origins movie of Mario becoming who he is inside of the Mushroom Kingdom. But he starts off in Brooklyn of New York, and he ends up making a business with his brother Luigi after leaving his job, and he is trying to do his like thing, and they keep failing at some here and there spots. It's hard to do with their lifestyle of like trying to be better than this one corporation that's in the universe. I think they actually use the Spinellis in this universe, and again, because the Spinellis were a company. I like to say like it was a company from the original movie from the '90s, and actually that's a good little Easter egg if possible. But from one viewing, I only catch it pretty quick. But so there's a there's a disaster going on in New York City where they're trying to save the town from flooding. So the city from flooding. So when they're trying to figure that out, they end up falling into a accidental side area, and all I hear is static in this ear. But um, so they end up falling in this area, and they end up finding a pipe where Luigi actually gets sucked into. Mario follows suit, and they end up going to the Mushroom Kingdom. But finds out that the way they do this, the pipe system, it's more of like it's a one shot line with other branching off setups. So if you accidentally hit one of the forks, you go to a different area. So Mario and Luigi get split up right in the beginning once you go through the tube. And Mario's mission is to just get his brother back. Meanwhile, there is in the background is Bowser is trying to take over all Mushroom Kingdom and capture Peach, Princess Peach, to basically make her his bride. So, but he needs the Power Star to do anything. So that's his main goal, is to get the Power Star. And then later on, Mario ends up finding Princess Peach and prior to that, Toad, and they end up gaining, like, making a team together. But Mario has no skill at all what Mushroom Kingdom is because he is not from that world. So Peach takes it upon herself to train Mario in the way of Mushroom Kingdom. So Mario has to do his thing, and they also have a plan to recruit the Kongs. So they end up doing that. Then Donkey Kong and Mario have their brawl and settle to gain trust of the Kongs so they can go with a war to Bowser. That's basically mostly all of it without me ruining any more of this movie.
And
But
just give us a very quick rating on it. I know we have a lot to get into. I just wanted to, briefly
quick
touch on that.
rating for this movie would have been like, for me, I enjoyed the Easter eggs, the designs of the characters, voice acting were pretty on point. For me, for being a kids movie, and I haven't seen a kids movie since Sonic 2, I like to give it an 8. It's not the most polished, but it still works out for us 90s kids and even people that grew up in like the 80s and everything. So I hear a lot of good reviews other than just me rating it the way I rate it. I know other people that haven't got a real connection to Mario are rating it worse. Like I went with my uncle Chris. He wasn't in depth with Mario, and he gave it more like a 5 because he's like, this doesn't work, blah blah, this doesn't work. And I'm like, you have to understand, it's a kids movie. It's not supposed to be meant for really us. If you have a connection, you will love it. So,
Yeah.
Jerry, how about you?
I agree. A lot of the things they did for the Mario movie, some of the things I weren't expecting. Overall, like it was an enjoyable movie. I'd watch it again. I definitely follow suit behind you and give it an 8. It's not, like the worst thing they could have done for a video game movie again, but there's uh definitely some things that left me wanting more, but in a
Mm-hmm.
good way.
Yeah.
And hopefully, as they continue to, I guess, try to, reboot and do video game movies, they kind of learn from their mistakes and learn from their successes.
The people that made this movie is Illumination, right? Am I saying the
Yeah,
company?
that's the same people who did
The Despicable Me
Despicable
Despicable
movies.
Me
Me and
and
all that crap.
Minions. And I
Well,
think they did another movie too.
it looks like from our friend group on
It's
PlayStation and everything, we've been discussing that they're actually trying to make a Nintendo universe. So it's
Yep.
going to be really weird. I did hear about certain movies. I don't agree with the timeline of how they're coming out, but they're going to do a thing to lead up to Super Smash Bros. Freaking Part 1, supposedly is going to be called. So,
That's
like,
gonna be cool to see.
it's gonna be dope if it, like we're talking about this shit, if it follows suit with the original game. It was only select characters, and the way they're going is that they're grabbing those select characters. But I don't know. They have Link and Metroid. If I always pronounce that
Yeah,
wrong as Metroid instead
you're
of
saying it right,
Metroid.
Metroid.
Okay. Uh, I have a feeling that they won't come out at the same in the same year, or they're going to be at two different spectrums of, because they're still slated for almost like late 2003 or like almost early 2004,
Hmm.
and they barely had said any information about those two movies. Then like it's kind of like this timeline's kind of just too early to be really, I'm gonna follow this line at the
Okay.
moment. To me, if
That's gonna be
anything,
interesting to
I can
see.
see them coming out next year and like more like later that year because I don't know if they can. I hope they don't rush it. I'd rather have them push it to almost 2005, almost.
2005.
No, not 2025. I always do this.
What fucking timeline are you at? What year are you in, Matt? Fucking 2003? We're not playing Nintendo 64 anymore, Matt. Now there's like, I don't know, the Wii Universe or whatever it's called. What the fuck are you talking about?
I hope when they
slipped
do
up.
try to build the Nintendo universe, they definitely take their time. I don't want it to be rushed.
I don't want them to rush that. I want them to pretty much walk it for a bit. I don't want them doing a full-on Mario did great. Let's sprint. And no, don't do that to me, please.
I'm just. Oh, go ahead, Josh. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, like the movie looks okay. It looks fine. I don't know. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I don't think it's something. I think the animation looks cool. I like like what the animation had to show. I mean, if it's on like a streaming service or something, I'll probably watch it. But I don't think I'm gonna go to a movie theater.
Well, like the
fair.
storylines. Yeah, the storyline's really basic. It's not looking really special
That's
to
what
the
it
movie.
looked like. Yeah,
It's not like they didn't. The thing is with the characters, they actually didn't really overpower each character in a way over top each other. They found a way to balance everybody out. And that was a neat thing. It wasn't like, oh, everyone loves this character. Let's just make this character more dominant than this character and this character and all that junk. They all felt suit to it.
yeah. Well, okay. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. So, did you guys see the Blue Beetle trailer? Did you see that?
I did see that.
I did too.
What do you guys?
I'm kind of on the fence about it because I don't hate it, but it's also like it's hard for me to really just fully get excited by the idea of Blue Beetle. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen because they've done so much with Batman and Superman for the longest time. They had to start bringing in some other, well, I'm not gonna say no, Blue Beetle is pretty well known. Let me not say that. But they're gonna have to, start bringing in other characters to draw attention. But it's for me, I just think, and I don't, I think it's a good idea that they're opening up with Blue Beetle, but I just feel like Blue Beetle shouldn't be the very first one, if that makes sense.
Oh.
I think it should be like one of like the first, 2 or 3, movies after they kind of get, an audience reaction from it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, what I'm saying.
I think they should focus on like the core.
Yeah.
3, which is Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. I think they should focus on that and then expand. Yeah, I see what you mean with that, but I thought the trailer looked kind of fun. I didn't, it did look like a movie I've seen before. It kind of felt like Spider-Verse and like a bunch of other superhero origin stories, and it seemed like a movie I've seen already, and like the kid is like doesn't know how the powers work in his suit. He's like, the suit's kind of doing his own thing. He's kind of figuring it out, and I feel like that's like all these superhero origin stories are kind of all like the same thing. That's why I'm kind of sick of origin stories. Like I'd rather see the superheroes like down the pipeline a little bit, where they're more experienced, so like we can get past the origin, like get into the nitty gritty, interesting stuff. Where I don't know, Superman could be in the 5th dimension fighting Mr. Mistfitlick or some crazy shit like that. Just an example. I know that I don't know really anything about Blue Beetle. Really, I just know he's blue and he's a beetle. And
I know I have really limited knowledge. The only things I know is from what I learned in Young Justice. I think he was introduced like season 2.
Okay.
And it like even like I said, what I know is very limited, but he like that drew me in and like, oh, I kind of want to learn more about the character. Cause it's like you said, I feel like their first set of movies should be the core three, Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. But
Yeah.
if they're gonna try to go a different way, why not give us, like a new set of core movies? Like maybe it's a setup for the Teen Titans, or the next set of heroes instead of. I'm not saying Blue Beetle doesn't fall into that, but start with more characters that people would easily recognize and just grab a hold of.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think DC really needs to have a solid Superman. I think Superman, like without a solid Superman, I think the whole universe kind of gets lost because that's kind of what happened before. I mean, I loved Henry Cavill. I thought he was a great actor, but like his Superman was just kind of lackluster. It was just lacking
They
that positive aspect. I think that's what the universe
well,
needs. It needs that different dynamic. It needs the light, hopeful stuff and the dark, gritty stuff, and it needs different layers. It can't just be one gray layer that kind of the Snyderverse showed us. It needs different contrasts.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I feel like they blew the Superman load pretty quick with that because they did the one movie, then they went to Superman versus Batman super quick, and then they went right to the Justice League where he freaking like gets resurrected. He dies in Batman versus
Yeah, no,
Superman.
You
that
They
was
just
forgot
so.
murder him.
Doomsday.
Then they bring him back in Justice League, and like then we don't have anything else after that. They give you 3 movies, and if you think about it, they kind of give Superman's like universe like characters a lot of the fu because like they kind
You
of
know
just
what I mean?
get rid of them. They don't even use
Yeah.
them. We
Yeah, they don't.
what's his name? Jimmy Olsen. They killed him in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
Wasn't that the thing? And I'm
yeah,
like what the fuck? Like he's a main important person in the story.
yeah.
It
He's a big
doesn't make
force.
sense.
That's almost like if I don't know, like in a Spider-Man movie, they kill Harry Osborn without even introducing him, kind of thing, or something like that. But
Well, in a technical sense, they did that with Spider-Man of Amazing Spider-Man 2. They introduced Harry
We don't have to
Osborn,
talk about
and
that.
then they
We
make him
yeah,
don't.
but
into
We
the
he
don't.
was at least
Goblin.
he was at least a character, and he was like what he,
I know, but
he
they
was like
just gave him a
he was a hollowed
switcheroo
out
pretty quick.
version. He was at least a character, In this, like blink and you miss it, you don't even know it's Jimmy Olsen.
True.
Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to mention since you brought up Justice League, there's just the news that came out today that I guess Zack Snyder just released that the
We're done.
original the original script for the Justice League was that Batman and Lois Lane were supposed to hook up after the death of Superman, apparently, um, because I don't know, but I mean that movie didn't happen, so it's okay.
Goodbye.
It didn't happen. Bye, Matt.
I
So
just
he just
like
released that.
why?
Like
I don't
Josh,
know. If you're gonna have Batman and Lois Lane hook up, you have to do it where Lois Lane doesn't know who Superman is, and do exactly what they did with the world's finest cartoon, where Batman kind of slides in, he's like, "Well, you had your chance." It has to be a buddy play, like a chess move, where Superman's still in the picture. But yeah, it can't just be, "Oh, he's dead. I'm gonna just move on to Batman now."
I'm not
It's
I'm not even the biggest fan of Superman, and I'm just really pissed off by this because it's such a low blow and like at all because like literally the whole movie they meet Batman, he's trying to murder her fucking potential husband
Oh yeah, that's
throughout
true.
the whole movie, and it just like next movie later is like, yo, Lois, you wanna like get a drink, go fuck around, have some like play, do some dirty shit, and then What happened? You know, Bruce Wayne may have a kid, and Superman's like, is that mine? Or no? What is this? Like, confusion on the play.
Luckily, they didn't do that, but even still, like,
I'm so glad that they
I
didn't
am
even
so glad too.
use that
Oh my god.
despicable idea.
well, that's what I mean. Like, if they're gonna do it, it has to be like in play, like when where Lois Lane doesn't know Superman's identity and they're not together, then Batman can move in on Lois Lane, like they did in the cartoon. That was perfect, but you didn't do it like that. I just wanted to mention that. I don't know. It just came out today. I don't know.
Zack Snyder
I don't even know why he's releasing this stuff. Like, who cares?
Can he just
He's
retire at
butthurt.
this point?
Go away.
butthurt.
Yeah, go away.
Jerry, yes, he should retire. Like at this point with like the DC universe, he should just stop when you know your seat has been taken by another person and they're not trying to talk to you about certain things at the moment, about where they want to go. You should just say, I get it. But like don't release a script that no one asked for at the moment. Like, did anyone really ask for this script?
I didn't ask for him to kill Zod.
We didn't ask for him to bring back Zod as a freaking monster that's not even supposed to be Zod. Either. Like,
yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. I feel like we have to save. We have to do these movies on a podcast at some point. Like it has.
Well, we already did Justice League.
we did the Zack Snyder Justice League. We did do that, but I feel like we have to do Man of Steel and Batman at some point. It's always
I guess we
come back.
I guess we could do that when we release our fan film.
Yeah, I think that's the time to do it. I think that's when we have to.
I have to go through the pain again.
I'm going to say this. I'm probably going to be heavily under the influence the whole episode. So just ignore anything I could potentially say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm
gonna have a few.
Go podcast.
God, was that torture?
Oh, good. All right, so, Jerry. Do you want to do what?
Oh wait, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Oh, go. No. You go. What?
I just had a quick question. I just have a question for you guys. So, since our older episodes are being released on Spotify and different streaming services where you can find their podcasts, I have a question. Do you guys do either of you have a favorite episode of Batyards Finest? Like, is there like one that either you kind of go back to, or like you have fond memories of, or one that you think is the funniest? I'm curious what you guys think, because
I couldn't hear Josh. He was breaking up on my end.
You were breaking up a lot too, but I had the audio from putting out right now going, but a favorite episode?
Ooh,
God, a favorite episode.
Of one we did. I could go first if you guys want time to think.
God.
That's actually a hard one, because
it is.
A lot of my favorite episodes are when we're all in a unanimous agreement, and others are when we're just kind of all over the place. But if I had to, I'd also have to come back to this question and see, after I see what episodes have been released so far. But if I had to, you know what, this would probably be one of the more recent episodes. But when we did the Batman episode in Casablanca, one, for right now, until I go back and look, I would have to say that one would be a favorite, because we were all just in a big agreement on, just how much we liked all the, the shots, the script, the dialogue of the movie. And then with Batman, there's just, so many layers to the animation style quality and effects that they used that, it would take, so many watches to just string together. Like, oh, hey, I didn't notice this. The last time I watched it, did you guys see this? And just how we always piggyback off each other. Yeah, for
Yeah, I
right
think
now,
we definitely had a
I would
good
say
discussion
that
with
one.
that one. Yeah, I think we definitely had a good discussion with that one. One of mine that I go back to a lot is our Ghostbusters one, the Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
because because we all had different opinions on it. We I don't know. Matt, you guys seem to really love it, and I I was kind of in the middle, and, and I just wanted to state that. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys here?
No, you're still choppy, but I can
Wait,
still hear
wait.
you.
I know what my favorite episode was when Crispy made us watch fucking Kiss Meets Phantom of the Park, and I hated it so much.
Wait, which one?
Kiss
When
versus
Crispy made us watch Kiss Meets Phantom of the
Oh,
Park, and
that
it was just so awful. I
yeah.
wanted to shoot myself, and the whole time I'm just seething in a quiet rage, and I just hated everything about it, from the really bad cheesy effects to them pew 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 just riding on lightning and the fucking lightning bolts coming out of their eyes. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Because I have never been more upset at an episode.
Yeah, we all had visceral reactions for sure. That definitely wouldn't be my favorite episode because that movie sucked. That movie was a piece of crap. But yeah, we definitely had a visceral reaction of that. Yeah, the Ghostbusters one is probably one of my favorites because Matt really loved it. Jerry, you were kind of like a little bit above where I was, and I was just kinda in the middle. I was like, "Ah, it was whatever." And Matt eating the popcorn, fucking getting s you got so mad at me when I said this movie was just adequate, and you're like, "Fuck you." And you're eating your popcorn all pissed off because like, gave this movie, like, just, like, an average rating. And, that's one I go back to a lot 'cause I just love I just Matt eating fucking popcorn and you just getting pissed off. That's one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, that just reminded me of another one. This one is really my favorite. It was the first one that I came on for when I got to finally see, what, you look like, Josh, and I got to meet cousin Tony when we did
oh,
Primal and the new
Oh,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat, because
That
it
was your
was,
first
it
one.
was the first time I had, ever been like I'd ever done something like this. And I had so much fun. I think, Crispy, wasn't it like the next day or the next week? I was like, hey, that was a lot of fun. Is it cool if I come back on?
yeah, no, that's no. He was asking
Yeah, man.
when can I come back? I'm like, oh, okay, whenever you want to come back. And Jerry's now part of the gang, so merge together
Yeah.
works out.
And I think, in all honesty, for me, it's hard to just have one favorite because every episode is just so unique. Because it's either we're all in the middle. The movie wasn't like great, but it wasn't horrible, and I enjoyed myself with it. Or
Mhm.
it's like the short was a perfect 10 out of 10. I go back and I want to watch it again. Or the movie's like it's a 3, but even as a 3, it's better than the 7 we watched like 2 weeks ago, because I'm just
Alright.
laughing at how just goofy all of it is. Like, we
Yeah.
have such a crazy like dynamic flow with everything. It's hard to just narrow it down. But
Mhm.
definitely, like, the Casablanca one, as of right now, for the current episodes, that's a definite favorite, because I've been wanting to watch that movie for a long time. And thank you, Josh, for making me watch it.
Yeah.
And definitely, I hated Kiss, but it was still like a funny movie. I got a lot of laughs in, because I'm just like,
Ouch.
oh, this movie's making me upsetty spaghetti.
Oh, yeah.
And then definitely the very first one. If I had to say like a top 3, it would be those.
That's fair, yeah. Well, Matt, what you haven't said much.
I'm just laughing, and I'm combing through all of our freaking like podcasts, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm going through them like the one that I like to think about a lot more is like definitely, even though it was like attached to Jack Frost, I like the Snowman one a lot because
Oh
we
yeah.
all had different theories. For me, if like it's more like the Snowman episodes are my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, part 1 and 2 of it because it's more like we liked the episode and we ran off of it and we dove in deeper than we should have dove in deeper to this freaking childhood cartoon short. And like I kind of enjoyed that we were like going back and forth and having our own theories and sorts, or bringing up a theory that no one was thinking of. It was pretty. It was actually pretty fun. And then we ended it with a crazy, wacky, whatever movie we had with it, because
Yeah.
we had Jack Frost for the first one, and I believe we had what's it called? Sesame.
Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Christmas Eve on Sesame Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'm glad we continued that. I'm glad we did the snowman twice. It felt very fitting to go.
now we gotta do the polar bear next. I believe that's another one. It's a polar bear one we gotta
I'm
watch.
scared.
But I'm not gonna lie, I'm down for watching that one next Christmas. But the one that makes me laugh is definitely like as Jerry brings it up. The one that makes me laugh the most is definitely the kiss one because it was so much hate, so much hate.
He knew how much
Wait,
it
which-
pissed me off, and I told
The
him,
kiss
"I'm gonna
episode.
kick your butt."
Oh, the kiss. Oh,
That
yeah.
one makes me laugh a lot after Jerry just mentioned it, and I brought back so much memories of just how much hate. And it just spiraled me down to the bad movie guy.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was definitely not my favorite episode. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, never make me
Oh,
watch that again. I have your address.
No.
I'll mail you unspeakable things and address them to different members of the family.
I don't know. I'm thinking about something despicable now to ruin your day for the next.
Shut up.
Just like have that. Just remember, mine is my picks next time for next podcast, so I can ruin your day.
I know you have something good picked.
I do have something decent picked. Hopefully everyone's like okay with
I hope
it.
so.
What about you, Josh?
We'll
I
find
figure
out.
after you say your favorites, we can go ahead and segue into the shorts.
I mean, I think I have to agree with Matt. Like the Snowman one is definitely one. That is one I go back to. The Snowman one and the Ghostbusters one is definitely one I go back to pretty frequently. And then the Snowman one I actually listened to while I was like on a walk, like on a like I guess like a mini hike. I was like in a park, and it was snowing. There was a lot of snow. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to this episode while I'm walking in the snow, and it made me feel like I was like, oh, my friends are here. You know, I'm like, but I was walking in the snow, so that was one of my favorites.
Oh
for
god.
sure. Those are two of my favorites. I have a few other ones, but those are ones that stand out.
Well, you know what? Maybe next time, next episode, we can go through all and give like our personal top 5, and then maybe within the next day or two, we'll ask all the viewers what are some of your favorite episodes.
Yeah, no,
I think that'd
that's a
be
good
fun
point.
to see.
Yeah, we gotta start doing more like audio clips on social medias. I've been starting to play around with it, but yeah. I think at least an audio snippet of the highlights of each episode. I think that'll be good.
Crispy, get that idea out of your head. I know what you're thinking. But that was fun. But now let's get into the meat and the bread of the episode. We will be talking about episodes 1 and 9 of Ghost Stories. And Mateo, I want you to handle that one. Those ones.
What?
Oh.
Oh god. All right, so ghost stories. How do I explain ghost stories? So before we even jump into ghost stories with these stories, so Ghost Stories is an anime that was put out in Japan, and it was supposed to be a horror like style anime, and it flopped so hard that it was supposed to get it got greenlit over here in America to get dubbed and set up, but it got so bad in reviews that Japan's just like, "Yo, just do whatever you want with dubbing," and we're doing
That's
the
what
dubbed
happened.
edition.
Oh
This is
my
the
god! So
dubbed
this was
edition.
supposed to be bad. Oh my
What did he?
god!
Did he watch it with the subtitles?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I just watched it like the English dub. I just watched the English dub, and I was like, why? Why are they talking about lesbians and the mom, and then like panties, and then I was like, is this supposed to be good? I'm like, I'm gonna give this a shit review. Like, if Jerry's trying to convince me to like anime, he's not doing a very good job.
I think this is gonna be my favorite episode now, guys.
I had no idea. I thought you liked. I thought this was supposed to be good. I remember
No,
you
I
talking
hate
about
it.
It's so bad. It's
I
so
remember you
bad.
talking about it. I was
Josh.
like, what the fuck is happening?
Josh, it's so bad that it's actually loved. It's so bad it's loved. That's
Like,
why
it's
I
been
was.
officially said it's the best of like the worst kind of dubbing.
yes.
And then the rabbit episode, like they're like, I
Let's
forget
just
what
get there.
I
Let,
I forget what they said, but they said something about
hold
like,
on,
oh,
hold on.
that's
Josh,
because the rabbit.
Josh,
That's
slow down,
because the
slow down.
rabbit's black. I was like, what the
No!
fuck? What the
All right, Jerry,
fuck?
should we just let Josh take this one?
Josh, do you want to do this
I
one?
don't know what the fuck happened. No, I want Matt to talk about. I had no idea. I don't.
Oh God!
Chris,
I thought this
please.
was. I thought this
Please
was
take-
like something you liked, and like not.
I personally enjoy watching these episodes
no,
because
I
they're
wish
bad
I
as
wish
hell.
I remember you talking about this prior, and I wish I had that context going in because I was like, "Oh, this is just shit." Like I just like this is suck.
No. Oh, it's
Oh my god.
Jesus.
we've been me and Jerry said we've been fighting back and forth. Who's gonna get the episode? Who's gonna get the time to spring this on Josh? Who's gonna do what?
Now
No,
I
and then Jerry
understand.
fucking beat me. But he chose the wrong episodes, but he chose the right episodes at the same time. But because there's like two other two other things like episodes that are more coexisting than this, but whatever. We'll talk about it later. But anywho,
You could pick
so
those
ghost
next.
stories. So ghost stories. So ghost stories is about a family that move into this one town, and basically the kids start up in this new school, and their background is their mother dealt with paranormal activity, but she passed away at a young age before they actually really knew their mom. It's more like they're young, really young before anything. You got to meet her and understand anything. And as they're going through because the kids join the new school and everything, they end up gaining these new friends that all have these quirky freaking character traits. And as it's going through, paranormal activity starts happening throughout the school, and it finds out the cat that they own actually ran away and ran towards the freaking abandoned school that they have. And they took over they ended up having to chase the cat to that abandoned school that has the most activity. Nobody wants to be there. And there's a tree in the back of the schools that contain most of these evil spirits that have been wreaking havoc over the premises of the school that got chopped down. So now, thank you. So now the kids are dealing with all this nonsense that's popping up due to past events. It ends up being like stuff that the mother put away herself when she was around their age or slightly older. And the main demon ghost that we dealt with ends up getting defeated by the children in the first episode and gets trapped inside their cat, and he's really fucking pissed that he's in this fucking cat. He'd rather die than live as a cat. And second episode is the fucking bunny episode.
His name is Shirutabi. And you're gonna respect him, Shirutabi.
Put me hard. I can't do this. And in this one, technically, I'm not using these kids' names because they're all really not. They all just show each other and give each other different fucking names most of the time throughout the whole time. The only one you have to know is Leo, because Leo is everyone says, "Shut up, Leo! Shut up, Leo!" And like the mom even
glasses.
What?
Is that the one with the glasses?
Yeah, that's the one with the glasses.
Okay.
And he's like they always say he's a pervert and he's Jewish. Okay, whatever. That's the whole gig for him. But with the bunny episode, it ends up that there's a bunny that has passed away, and they end up doing the whole setup as the Pet Cemetery storyline, basically with this. And they bury the bunny, and this girl ends up doing a ritual to bring back the bunny. The bunny came back more as an evil creature and destroys the bunny cage farm setup they had at the school that the students would take care of. And they're still trying to figure out what the fuck's happening, but they end up realizing at looking in the destruction of the farm, there's the bunny that died. There's no other like replacement for that bunny, but that bunny came back and ends up finding out later on when they're instigating this bunny issue, the bunny ends up becoming a demon, and they have to slay the demon, and they end up killing the resurrected evil bunny. But at the end of the episode, there's a silver lining that bunny end up having baby pups with another bunny before he passed away. And yes, pups is a word for baby bunnies. Also, so yeah, and he ends up having those bunnies, and everyone's on their toes because they don't know if they're evil or they're just normal bunnies. But the main girl that takes care of the bunnies, she had a special relationship with this bunny, and the dubbing just got strange because it's not okay.
Yeah,
so Josh, your thoughts?
Now,
I was like, what the
now
fuck?
that Matt finished, Josh, I picked this strictly for the reason we haven't had a bad short in a while. That was just so off the walls. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw just a little curveball in to just get people riled up.
I knew you were.
I was very confused because I was like, okay, I was expecting, first of all, I was expecting like an exorcism, and I was like, okay, that didn't happen. But like, I was like, oh, there's ghosts in this, so I'm like, okay, I guess that's the connection there. And then I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, they're talking about like lesbians. Like, she doesn't look like a lesbian, or I don't even know what they're talking about. They're talking about like someone's mom in a picture, and like, oh, she looks like a lesbian.
The mom is the lesbian.
Yeah, and then the second episode, the rabbits, like it was like at the end, it was like, oh, that's because it's black, like talking about the rabbit, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What is this?
Oh,
I was
it gets
so
more
bizarre. I was like, oh my god, Jerry liked this? What is this?
No, I hate this. But I'm like, if I hate this, I know Josh will hate this, and this will be perfect.
Oh,
because Josh will just go off the deep end.
I was so confused. I was very confused because I was like,
you know,
the animation looks cool. Like it was pretty neat. And I was like, what is this dialogue? Okay.
No, it was a failed anime. It was a failed anime that the company said, do whatever the fuck you want with it. But the funny thing is, Jerry's technically the only person in the friends group that actually hates like ghost stories 100%. Okay. We know it's bad. Awful. We all know it's bad.
It's not
good. We all know it's bad, but we love it because it's so bad. Jerry
I
just 100%
honestly,
hates it.
I honestly wish I had that context going into it because, like,
No,
I had
nope,
no idea.
nope,
I
nope.
had
You
no
have to.
idea.
No, you have to get the right way of ghost, like getting introduced to ghost stories. Because I didn't know what ghost stories was until I saw like clips on Instagram. Because Instagram was out of nowhere flooding itself with ghost stories, all
Yeah.
English dubbing scenes. I'm like, guys, what is this? Like, you gotta go watch it. And I'm like, what do you mean you gotta go watch it? Just go watch it. I'm like, where do you watch it? Jerry's like, you don't watch it. You don't watch shit. You don't know where it is. This thing doesn't exist. You can't
Oh
find
my
it
god.
anywhere. Meanwhile, his girlfriend Trinia sent me a link on Crunchyroll, and then my friend Billy's like, "Oh, here's YouTube. Here you go." And everyone was finding me links to watch the episodes. Meanwhile, if Jerry could hack my like everything I have, he would have just wiped everything clean every time I open the
Permanent
page.
delete. It is just I understand why they did it, because if they tell you we don't care what you do, just have fun with it, that's what they did.
Yeah,
Well, back when you could get away with saying a lot of the stuff that they said, but it for what they did, they had fun with it, and it is funny, extremely out of context. But when you watch it, you're just like, what the fuck is this? Why are
Yeah.
they doing this?
I
I
was
don't
very
understand.
confused.
there.
I was just like confused more than anything during my watching. Like I was like, is this good? Like I was like, if Jerry's trying to convince me to like anime, this is not
No, 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 no,
doing
no.
it. This is
Not this
not.
one. No.
Hell, I have some banger anime picks. I just have to find the right movie for them.
Okay.
God. But
Alright.
the funny thing is, the episodes I thought he was gonna choose is episode. I thought he was gonna go 1 and 2 because one will introduce you to the characters like you like us to do,
Hmm.
and then 2 is literally this girl that is normal, but she's telling everybody how to do certain things to get like
The
better.
Jesus freak.
Like what?
The Jesus freak.
No, that's different. That's not different. That's not Jesus. That's not the Jesus freak one. It's like she's like teaching them how to do things, and it finds out she taught them how to do a ritual that actually erases them from the world. And it finds out it's a demon that takes over a girl's body and possesses her. And the cat that gets possessed figures it out, and he's like, "We got to get rid of this bitch before she eliminates everyone else with this ability." And that's what I thought Jerry was gonna pick. Or we're
I
gonna go with the Jesus freak one, where it's the one when the train and the girl dies in the cab and all that crap, and the possession of the cab, and the girl tries to kill the people in the cab because the cab driver killed her and all that shit. I thought we were gonna go with that
I was
one.
gonna I was thinking about that one, but the one I was gonna immediately fall back to was the one where the little brother had to do the race.
Oh no, no!
So, Josh, for context, there's an
Okay.
episode with a
I
little
can't even
brother
say
where he
it.
has to do like a little kindergarten race. And so the two older kids are like, imagine there's a big black man running behind you. And they're like, well, he didn't run any faster. In fact, he ran a
He's
little
not
slower.
racist.
So we know he's not racist. And that was the
Wow.
first episode I was introduced to. And I'm
Wow.
like, this is absolutely obscene.
Yeah,
I hate this. I don't want any more.
Wow.
not gonna lie,
Wow.
not going to lie.
I
That
was
is
so
probably the
confused.
that
Okay.
is the that is the second clip I saw on Instagram, and I spammed it to Jerry, and Jerry's like, "You're not watching this."
It's
I'm su
awful.
I'm surprised you picked it because, like, after what you're saying right now, because like, I would expect this more from Matt than you. It's like
I
I was
have
telling
mentioned to
Matt I haven't
Jerry.
picked anything bad in a while. I'm like, I got to get something in
Mhm.
Yeah.
because
I like to
I
joke
know
with
the next
Jerry.
couple of picks are going to be interesting for me, and I was like, let
Okay.
me go ahead and get the funnies and the bullshit out of the way.
That's
No,
fair. Okay.
I like to joke with Jerry and say I'm gonna use the bunny episode because he hates that one
And
a
I
lot.
beat him to it.
And I'm like, Jerry, I'm gonna use the bunny episode. And he's like, No, you're not. No, you're not. No. And then I was actually shocked he chose it. I really am shocked. He kind of ruined my joke now.
I almost
Now I
now
can't
want
use
to.
it.
Now I almost want to go back and like rewatch it, like
No.
knowing that, like
It
I
gets
think I'll.
it only gets more crazy
Yeah, it
from
gets
that
even-
episode
no,
forward.
no.
I feel like I'll enjoy it more knowing that
No.
context, because like when I first watched it, I was like, "This is what is this? What am I watching?" I'm like, "This is not good." I'm like, "The animation's kind of neat. It's like hand drawn." I was like, "Okay," and then I went into it and I was like, "No, no, I just no."
Well,
I'm not into this.
Josh, I didn't want you to have any foreknowledge because I needed someone to hate it with me. I'm sorry that I
was
set
like,
you up, but I needed somebody to hate this with me.
No. The
Because
thing
for
is-
me, this is a 3. It is so low on the totem pole. It's in the dirt. It's just
I was,
it's great if you're
I
a
was-
young voice
I
actor
honestly-
and you need something to your name. But as just it's got that cult following of it's so awful.
The funny thing is, the actor
It's like
for
an Ed
Leo,
Wood movie.
It's the funny thing is the actor for Leo is actually a lot more freaking like other animes dubbed
That are
down the
much-
line too. A lot better. He's in a lot more, and it's fucking hilarious. And they're after this. Like he got his run.
honestly, I was more confused than anything watching this. I was just like dumbfounded. I was like, "Huh?
To give you
What?" Yeah, like
the
I
funny
didn't
thing
hate it.
is-
I was just confused.
Hi Jerry.
Oh, I do.
No, my camera was out of focus. I had to make it
Oh.
refocus.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing about the episode that Jerry told us about, the running episode.
Wow, I didn't know I could do
Oh my god.
that.
So with the running episode, I did watch it subbed, and the subbing is that they're encouraging him to actually run faster the proper way. They're actually tell him you can do it, you can run, like you can run faster than that. Let's go, let's do this shit, basically. And then we get the English dubbing. That's actually not right.
Okay. Now I see it. Now it all makes sense. Before
Yeah,
I was
there's like if you watch it Japanese in the Japanese sub, it's gonna have all the positive.
Okay, so is the
Subbing.
Japanese version, is that good? Like, is that like a good show, or was
No,
that
that's just
even bad?
yeah.
It's only bad in the respect that it wasn't well received,
Mhm.
but all the voice lines and voice acting and everything were actually pretty good. So I was surprised
Right.
it didn't perform kind of moderately well.
Yeah, it's an audience thing. Yeah, that's what happened with this thing. It was just audience
see.
fallout.
Okay. Oh, ooh, that was bad.
Oh god.
So I just wanted to read these comments. Matt, do you mind?
I'll read the comments because I know one of them. So
I know
we
one
have a
of them.
comment from Steve Prasad saying, "Shadow Wizard Money Gang, we love casting bunnies," and I hate you for that because this is one of our friends that I play Overwatch with, and that's a little intro soundboard song I sent him, and he's using it against me because he knows I hate this show. So you're gonna be banned from chat. And then from Jimmy Jazz, we have a comment saying, "I'm a sub for the anime ladies." And I'm also a sub for the anime ladies. They have some very nice looking faces.
Oh, Jimmy
Oh no,
and
we lost
Steve.
Josh.
He gone.
Is he still in the call?
That's
Okay.
okay. So
So
Jerry,
crispy. No, you go ahead.
I just want to rate this thing now. I'm done talking about it.
I already said it. This is a 3. I hate every.
I
In
have-
fact, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
I have
Crispy,
I
you go
have
ahead.
2 ratings. I have 2 ratings.
Go ahead.
Okay. I have 2 ratings. Okay. For Shitastic, I'm gonna rate it at least. I'm gonna rate it at least an 8 because of how bad and shitty and garbage it is, and how much everyone receives it. But overall, if you're looking at it as like a positive thing to tell somebody to go watch and like this is a great anime and all this other stuff, it's not a good anime. It's definitely a fucking 3. That's it. It's definitely a fucking 3. But once you understand what it is and kind of understand where I'm at, you give it a shit-tastic rating. That's what you go with. Oh my god, what's happening on the sideline here?
I'm gonna agree with Crispy. For something that, and I still don't really understand how the target audience for this didn't find it entertaining. For what it's supposed to be to a targeted audience, I think I'm gonna give it like a 6.
I think it was like
Because it involves young school children getting in a situation, beyond their capability and means, and going essentially on a life or death, save the world kind of thing. But as far as when it came to America, it's a 3. There's a lot of things that are said and just dark humor that is implicated during this that is just awful. And I hate it.
Okay,
I think
so
it is awful.
as we're waiting for Josh, still, let's read some of these comments. It looks like Jimmy Jazz has replied back to you saying that you enjoy the anime ladies saying I love you. Jimmy Jazz again couldn't handle the anime ladies. Also, your screen is blacked out.
I think Josh might have
I
had some internet trouble. Let me check to see if we're still live.
Yeah, so
Um,
we still have the dot here on our end that it states that we're live. So I'm gonna keep rolling here. It's probably some difficulty with our host that he's trying to work on this right now. Wait,
yeah, we are still live.
Steve is stating, wait, anime lady feet. Steve, we know how much you have a foot fetish. I don't judge you on it. I love you, buddy, but I don't need to see 20 videos of feet every day.
We're currently experiencing some tech issues. We're gonna just kind of keep rolling with what we got, and we'll try to get the video and everything else back up shortly.
Jimmy just stated in the latest comment that came through. There you are. Assuming the picture came back to us. So
video is back then.
Yeah, it's just your voices. So that's like more like a real podcast in a way. So you get to have both for best worlds. So Steve, going back to after underneath Steve's anime lady feet footage stuff here. Subbed. Oh, Jerry has a photo for you, Steve, that you can add to your collection now. Jerry, send that to Steve when you have a chance.
Do you want to just have Josh come back and revisit his rating and review?
If you want, if we want to continue onward, sure.
Yeah, because I really wanted him here for the Exorcist.
Same here.
But tech issues are tech issues. We'll just have to deal with them as is. I know it's getting later than what we usually would try to go for, especially when we have kind of a lot to talk about in episodes like this.
Josh said he just keep going.
Okay.
He's in spirit. He's been spirited away at this moment.
We're here with you, Josh. I know you're going to give The Exorcist a fair review, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions. So,
he actually hated that.
So I'm going to give as quick of a synopsis as I can for the 1973 Exorcist. It starts off in a very unusual way. We're somewhere, it looks like we're in like a desert, a desert site for an excavation somewhere in maybe Africa or potentially, the Middle East. And we see, just workers digging, just trying to find any kind of artifacts that they can. And we see a man find a unusual statue that has some strong demonic resemblances to it. And then it cuts to America with, oh God, I cannot remember any of these people's names. Hold the heck on. Just give me one quick second. I have to pull up my tab.
It's okay. It's okay. I would love to try to help you on that one, but my day has been a
The
blur as well.
McNeils. There we go. The McNeil family. And they are, they're kind of your average, upper class, Americans, American family. There's, mom, daughter, housekeepers. Mom and dad are, I want to say they're divorced because of how she talks about him. But
I'm assuming the divorce as well, but Dad's not in picture.
yeah, dad's not in the picture, which I kind of like in this, which I'll get into later. And then later on down the road, we cut to a Catholic church, and we see, the priest talking and, doing things. And then we once again see the mom and daughter talking and not, oh God, talking and hanging out. And she's saying that she found a Ouija board and she's been talking to a friend, not Mr. Howdy, Captain Howdy. And when the mother tries to talk to him with her daughter, the I forget what the piece is called, so I'm not gonna butcher
The dial?
it. Has a
dial piece?
specific name,
Okay.
but they the little dial just flies off the table, and the mom's like, well, that was mean, why would you do that? And she was like, that wasn't me, that was Captain Howdy. And then from that point forward, things just it's a slow downward spiral, because as the McNeils are starting to deal with supernatural possession, one of the priests, DeMarcus Karras, I believe his name is, Damian Karras, not DeMarcus, thinking of a different movie. Damian Karras is dealing with health issues with his mother and her passing, and having her shipped to a mental institute where they have her locked up, where she does unfortunately pass away, and that weighs heavily on him because he blames himself for not being there, for not doing more, for being a letdown of his son, and just a really hard situation like that. And then after that happens, a lot of it is just now focused on all of these extremely just weird occurrences with the daughter, and how she was just saying these extremely graphic things in
I
just a
forgot the
perfectly normal
terms.
context. And then the mother saying, like, we have rats in the attic, and she's telling her housekeeper, put some traps up there, and he's telling her, ma'am, I'm great at what you pay me to do, we don't have rats. And so she just is getting very frustrated with that, on top of the fact of not knowing what's going on with her daughter. And then she takes her to the hospital that she believes can help her, and they say there's nothing wrong with your daughter, it looks like it's all in her head. But she's telling her there's something wrong, she's saying these things out of character, and like there's no history of this stuff in our family. And so she's just saying there's just something wrong, and can't put her, her motherly instincts are telling her, and she's listening to him, thank goodness. She's saying there's something wrong, and I'm gonna figure out what it is, instead of just letting it go to the wayside. And then eventually, it hits to the point where her daughter is no longer her daughter, but she is now a vessel for all these different demonic demons. I believe she suffered from multiple possessions, or but that's also because I've seen a couple other like possession movies like this. But then they enlist, the Vatican and the church, saying like, hey, we need an exorcism. This is what's going on. Here are the things that are happening. Please help us. And so then things just continue and continue to go downhill, where now Father Damian Karras and another gentleman whose name is escaping me, I know it if I saw it. Priest Lancaster Marin.
He's
they are
hardcore.
now trying to exorcise the demon from this young child. And, it's a very just long and hard spiritual battle. This demon is saying, at this point, it's just taunting them and making them feel useless. And it eventually just got to the point where the demon managed to break free from the binds that was holding its vessel, which is the young McNeil child. And she's essentially, on top of Father Marin, just choking him until he is no longer living. And then Father Karras grabs a hold of her and tells the demon, "You let this girl go, and you take me, I'll be your vessel." And as he makes this new, as what happens with demons, once you make a new deal and offer them what they really want, he unfortunately jumps out of the window to take his own life so that he doesn't commit any further atrocities and just heinous things, which would be unbefitting. And as the movie ends, the mother and daughter leave the house. The mother is very shaken up, but the daughter has no recollection of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one more priest. I can't think of his name either, but he tells the mother, goodbye, and I'm so sorry for everything. And she hands him, I believe it's a pendant or something very, very personal of Father Karras, and says, "This is the only, I know it's not much, but this is all that's left for you to remember your beloved friend by." And the movie just ends with them driving off into the sunset, and the father just kind of standing there to remember his friend and the great deed he had done. This movie scared the piss out of me when I was a kid, and it still does now. Everything about this movie, just because I don't know why, because I've probably watched this movie 15, if not 16 years later. And it just, like, all the same stuff that scared me, it still does. And it's a hard watch for me, especially now that I started from the beginning and watched it to the end. It's essentially just that slow descent into madness, because I think the biggest part that just really got me, obviously outside of, the possession of the daughter, but it's also just the fact that she was just a lonely kid who, from kind of context clues that they give in the movie, she's in a broken family situation. Mom and dad aren't together, and it looks like dad's is somewhat an emotional deadbeat.
But
So
the thing is, like, the mom technically kind of like replaced him. It's not like she auto replaced him. It's been over the year, like a couple years since they divorced, and she's gained like a friend that is technically like a boyfriend, but they don't really talk about, like, she doesn't try to talk about it that way to make like the daughter feel like she's replacing her father so soon. Like, we're doing something like that. She's like, "Oh no, it's just a friend." But like, it seemed like the daughter's picking up it's more like a thing than just
mhm.
a friend. So it's like a weird situation. She has something. It's like a weird. I don't know. This movie is just
It's
odd.
definitely a lot. I've tried to make myself go back and watch this, but whenever I just go to hit that play button, I just say, you know what, I can't do it. I just, because I think the big part for me is the emotional toll that it took on everyone, because the mother was at her wits' end. She was obviously, fearful of what was happening to her child, especially when, they were saying you might have to lock her up in, an insane asylum. And definitely back during the 70s, being sent to an insane asylum was the worst thing possible because of
That's a
all the,
label.
inhumane experiments, the labels, the stares,
Yep.
the, and, God forbid, the conditions that they were in. And it
No.
just, oh,
The,
and
but
the possession. God,
God,
when the demon was making the girl just say all these things to these people, and just it, it, it's heavy. It's a lot for me. Like,
it I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the same experience as how Jerry's dealt with this. I feel too tiny now. I think get closer to the camera. Damn it! I don't have like the same experience that Jerry had with this. To me, I was eased to it. I wasn't like how you were. You stumbled into this crazy shit. My dad was just like, here's the Exorcist. If you don't like it, get out. Like that's how it is. Just, I'm not gonna hold you here and have you get terrified as a child. It was more like he picked the right year for me to understand the Exorcist, where you at your age was a stumble upon at too young of an age to witness this
yeah,
shit. After it's been so long since I watched this movie that I've kind of replaced a lot of it with Scary Movie 2.
oh
Nonsense. I'm
Jesus,
not gonna lie. With like not like with like how like like it's just like in my head when I imagine Exorcist, I just imagine fucking the freaking Scary Movie 2's opener, and I'm like in my head I'm just like what the fuck? I'm like, oh god. I'm like, I need to get rid of this image out of my head because I'm just laughing at some points because I've seen Scary Movie 2 so much more
yeah.
that
I
it's
had that same issue. I'm like,
replacing.
okay, I need to get serious
I'm
and
like, yeah,
just tune the world out.
but the thing is, like, let's get back to like Scary Movie 2. Scary Movie 2 doesn't they pick up to where the girl pisses on the rug and then jumps right to the Exorcist. They don't waste time. In this movie, you have the separation, so like I could get out of that whole situation of like Scary Movie 2's replacing my memory here. No, now I'm watching the movie legitimate, like properly processing everything after I got rid of that bullshit. But like I'm not calling Scary Movie 2 is a good movie. It's a good spoof movie. I'm not saying it's bullshit. But anywho, but this movie, like Jerry's like talking about all this problems that I'm having like throughout the movie. I got fucked with the freaking science projects. I did. The girl was going through so many tests, so many things. When that doctor, there's a point when the doctor said, "Let's do another spinal tap," and I'm like, "You're literally gonna do another spinal tap on this poor girl? You gave her one, you're gonna give her two. Spinal taps are not fucking easy." And you can
Mm-mm.
fuck up a child doing that shit. No, don't do this. Find another fucking route. Do something else. And they're like, oh yeah, like I've been like witnessing as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see more parents and stuff like throw their kid on Ritalin and like Adderall to calm their children down because they think they have like a freaking like attention ADHD and all this other shit. Some do, some don't. And in this one, I got really annoyed that the doctor's like, "Yeah, we're gonna throw her on Ritalin and see how it goes because that's how she's predicting." I'm like, she's really not acting like that much. It's more of like a different situation that I'm seeing it as. I didn't really see it as more of ADHD or like any like those kind of other mental like issues that like probably just like what I'm trying to say here, but like it doesn't feel like we should have just jumped right to freaking Ritalin, like giving her just drugs to dumb her. We should have tried doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Her, I think that was even like stupider just to throw her on the drugs because that lets the demon take her over more. She's not fighting no more. She just gave up on the brain, and then at the end of this movie, I'm not gonna lie, I think the demon actually wins. The demon wins.
Yeah, this is one of those,
Because
few instances where the demon, he did damage, but he still did more.
but the thing is, like, if you look closely at the father when he jumps out the window and he falls down the fucking stairs after taking on the possession, let's just say this man went through hell and back again with ever this whole fucking week. It's like a week or something. Like this shit's going on. This man's been through hell and back again with his family issues, trying to figure out the fucking this family and make sure this daughter's safe and all that crap. To end up say fuck it, I'm taking this thing from her because I want her to live, and he makes an executive decision to fucking jump out the window because he knows he's not winning, and this man takes an L to save somebody. That's a hero in anybody's freaking choice. And Jimmy gives
We're
me
not
the
going to
question mark.
acknowledge that.
No,
but I agree. Like,
it's
this is
but
all the multifaceted layers to this. There's no possible chance that even if, the priest did live, that they wouldn't have had some kind of, ramifications later
no,
down the road.
no, it's
Because
just
like
what the hell.
how oh, I
Host
think Josh is
join
back.
podcast. I don't know. I'm really confused. But
Like how
no,
Crispy was saying,
no,
the
no,
doctors
Jimmy,
essentially
get that out
turned
of here.
the daughter into a science experiment. For me, that was really hard to watch. But the harder one for me was Father Damien just beating himself up and blaming him.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying it's all my fault. I let my mom get like this. I wasn't here when she needed me. I'm here busy dealing with the church. And he openly said, I think I've lost my faith.
He does. He does literally say that in the
And
movie.
it just, because when he said that, I definitely saw a lot of, well, not a lot, but I saw, one death in my family when my grandmother had passed. And it was, I had a lot of chances to, say, hey, grandma, happy birthday, or, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I just would always say, oh, I'll do it next time. Or, there's always going to be next week. And I just kept doing it and doing it. And my dad would always say, your grandma's not going to live forever. And then, she passed, and I never got that chance to say, oh, happy 90th birthday, grandma. And it just, for me, seeing how he dealt with it and how it was portrayed onto him was the hardest task, because I did cry, not heavy, but I did shed, some tears, and I had to take a moment to, recompose myself as I continued the movie. But I had such a hard time with that because, especially, like now with COVID and and all these new diseases going on, and the fact that, people now are also, there's other people doing the same thing. Like, oh, I'll, I know my, I know my great grandmother is, just got out of surgery for a hip replacement. I'll go check on her, tomorrow when I get off work. I've had a really long and busy day, and, all of a sudden, the time is just not there. So it definitely, like, I don't want to take away from what, Crispy had said about the science experiment, because that made me so upset for different reasons. But I'll get into that after I finish this. And I'll let Crispy get his turn to say what he needs to. But it just, even outside of the possession, that was just emotionally hard for me to just see and think about again. Oh, I'm done, Crispy. You can.
Sorry, taking a moment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry with what happened with your grandmother and everything. But Jimmy and Steve are in this chat.
Yeah, I
I'm
see it. I'm
sorry.
trying
And
to
I'm
ignore
trying
it.
not to. I'm not trying to be an asshole and laugh, but it's not. I can't. And then Josh is haunting us on the sideline with saying "Daddy." so, but God, I kind of want. I jumped. We went down like a little different like route after we started talking about the thing. Like started talking about the priest, but jumping back to the priest jumping out of the window, there's him going down the stairs. The other priest goes down the stairs, and it looks like he grabs his hand instead of actually just having the hand flat, like holding the hand like it's lifeless. It actually grips his hand, seeming. I'm assuming that the demon that's in him was still alive. And my theory is that he moves to the other priest and he
Mhm.
doesn't actually go like he's not coming out yet, but later on. Because I know there's a second movie after this that's still
Is there?
connected. There is a second movie that has James
What?
Earl Jones. Yes, and I
I had
believe
no
James Earl
idea.
Jones. Yeah, there's a second movie that's I believe is like 100% attached to this movie. That is James Earl Jones as a witch doctor. I'm trying to remember. I think he's from Africa or South America.
Hold on.
One,
I need to
two.
look this up.
There's a secondary movie that I believe is that has James Earl Jones, and they discuss and they actually figure out the demon's actual real name and everything
There's a
because it
third one?
comes. Yeah, there's a third one too. Yes.
What?
Yeah, it's these movies like they actually have real continuity timeline until you fall off after three. Technically, I don't know. I'm trying to remember three. I don't think it's that good. But two is where I would say stop with like the main story. I don't recall three that much,
I
but
would
all
say
the
stop
other.
after one because one is just so for a movie to not
But
have any big names and to be as and this will
mhm.
get into the thing I like to always do for it to be
Well,
as successful as it was, it's insane.
but two is like right afterward, like right afterwards. It's like James is like early James Earl Jones. Like it's young James Earl Jones. It's not like it's like older like he's at least in his like I believe 30, 20, like 30s, I think. I'm trying to remember.
Wow.
But it's not that old. It's not that new. It's pretty old. As close as I think it's at least almost near the 80s where that movie came out. And you're looking at it, so you can tell
Wow.
me
This
what year did two
the
come out?
second one came out 3 years after the first, not three,
Yeah,
4 years after the first one.
yeah, right or late, early, right before, like just almost early 80s, almost. So like, it's James Earl Jones is young James Earl Jones. It's not like he really had a
Jeez.
like a real like backing. It's whatever movies he was in prior to this that got him to where he is. And to follow up to the Exorcist, this movie that did amazing to get into put into a second one, that shows he was how his acting got him into this movie franchise. But
Wow. That's nuts to
back
me.
to the first one, yeah. But then the second one they find out the name of the demon and they have a whole thing. It's a lore movie more and how to get rid of it 100% now because they can't get rid of it technically in this movie at the moment. But yeah, jumping back to this one, I feel like I do like seeing the from jumping back and forth between the mother and the daughter and the priest and his lifestyle. I like that. If you get to see different sides and how the priest is like something must have happened to the priest to make him become a priest
Hmm.
because the things he does, the things he acts in the way he like thinks of things, it's not like he's a real. To me, he doesn't feel like a real priest. They made this priest like Rocky in a way. Where's this movie really take place? Is it Philly or freaking the New York City, like Massachusetts, like Brooklyn or
It
something
looks
like
like
that?
Massachusetts, just based on like the time of the year it is and some of the foliage and how some of the
Okay,
architecture is. but I let me see.
because
I don't know.
it's like if it's like really like it's like if it's in Philadelphia, it's identical almost to Rocky in a way, but Rocky I think is a little bit later. I'm trying to remember the year Rocky came out, but whatever. Um, it's a nice little thing that we know he's not always being a priest 24/7. He's doing his own stuff instead of just being like I'm in always in robes. And then going to see his mother, I wasn't I forgot how much how Italian they are. I'm not gonna lie, when they walked through the door, that's how I felt. I don't have that with my mom, but like how they react and they talk Italian a lot. With my grandmother, that's how we opened the door and she acted. She gave us the whole spiel in Italian, and my dad's like, "Ma," and then we went through the whole routine, and we just did the sit down, and we ate, and we talked the shit, and we had to go through the same thing. We had to tell her like, you can't do certain things. You're getting too old. You have to stop doing this, and we tried to move her. She had a three-story building. To one floor is like a living area, another living area, then an attic set up, and we were trying to move her to the first floor. She said, "No, I don't want to go to the first floor." The attic is technically like a living space also, and for some god awful reason, she moved herself up into the attic. We had her move to the first floor almost, then she shot to the top attic. I'm like, we can't have you going up and down the stairs at your age. We tried to move her out also before she passed away, but whatever. But it's weird. It's like that whole thing. I'm like, damn, I can
Yeah,
relate to most of that shit right there. that
and
whole introducing the family.
definitely, like you
Oof.
said, with bouncing back and forth between the mother, daughter, and the priest. I like that because the priest is more than just a person that's there. Even the secondary one, we know he's been doing exorcisms, he's done a mission trip, and he's
Hmm.
very familiar with evil. So it's like, even though we're not deeply invested, we know, like, okay, he's a good guy and he's, not inherently just here for plot. But man, let's talk about some of this cinematography. That first opening scene when they're in that desert, I'm
Hmm.
just like, dude, you can really just feel that, from the grain of the film. It's like, God, that looks like it's freaking hot.
Yeah.
And then when they see that just evil statue, it's just like, okay, I'm in for a wild ride.
I personally love the mood. Like actually, when we get to like the scenes where they're trying to do the Exorcist, like the exorcism and everything, and they're trying to like the room's cold. Everyone's breath is cold. You see the tone of the room is not as bright it was. Lighting has changed now. We're getting so serious. And cinematography, like that's how the crazy, like the changing of that is, including the what's it called? The practical effects for this movie was insane. And I'm not gonna
God.
lie, with this girl actor, this young woman actress, I don't know what they did or who was her stunt double or how much she was in for half of that ride. Like, they put her through the ringer if they actually used most of her. Like, used her in any of the scenes
If she does
because
not have an Oscar for that acting, it
uh
is a disgrace to the world, because to exhibit all those emotions, all the, like the physical pain and stuff,
mhm.
to even, like the emotional tiredness of it all, and just like to give that stellar up of a performance, holy freak show. I just, Lord haveth mercy.
Okay, so The Exorcist has won a few awards in 1974 for best writing. You have the best supporting, was this for supporting actress, I want to say. It's shitty. It's like the thing is Google like kind of ruins it for me. It basically cuts off everything. But let me go backwards because that actually has names. What is the name of the daughter actress?
It's not Sharon.
Is it
What
Linda?
is it? I think it might be Regan.
Regan. I'm not seeing because we only have four, no, 6 awards here, but all of them are mostly men that won them because
That's crazy to me.
there's only one woman here that's Linda Blair. She won was it Golden
Oh
Globes
yeah, that's
Award for the
Regan.
best support. What?
Yeah, that's the daughter, Regan McNeil. That's her.
That's what I meant. The actress. The actress
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So
Name's,
all right. So
Linda
she
Blair.
won. So she got the best supporting actress, I believe. This is how the thing is for the setup for this page for the Google. I wish I can find something better that can make it easier for me, but this is the quickest thing I could find. But yeah, it got the best. Was it that Academy Award winning best writing? She won the global. Was it global Golden Globes Award for best supporting actress, I believe, and then you got global awards. Best screenwriting, screenplay. Then you got the best sound mixing. Then you got
Wow.
best motion picture, and then best director. For
Now,
this.
before we go any further, I have a 3-part question for you. What do you
Okay.
think the budget is for the movie? What do you think it grossed at the time?